So we've got the brand new month of March started right now. It's Monday, everyone. Welcome to Frontier Opening Bell. This is how we're getting really started. Friday was just a bit of a curtain raiser, but if you're looking at the full weeks of the final month in the first quarter, this is how we're getting it started. So let's just walk you through how we finished off over the weekend. Let's start with Sunday, that's yesterday, when the Egyptian stock market started with 0.32% in Cairo. Sunday is the start officially for business and financial markets in the North African big economy. Nigerian market, 1.23% in the red on Friday. The index is now below the 100,000 reading when the markets were recorded when it was red hot, like a hot potato back in January. The BRVM down by 0.25%, 0.5% roughly, 0.45% on Friday. The Nairobi stock market continued the green 33, roughly 1%, 0.82%, 93.25. The GSE eked out just 6 basis points on Friday to finish the week around 72,775.49. That's the biggest securities market on the African continent. That's just a summary. What do you do in March? Beware of the Ides of March. That's what's been said. But again, folks are beginning to consider how they rebalance everything as we see we're trying to walk through the final 4 weeks of the first quarter. EU Parliament, however, says it's okay, a duty-free deal with Kenya. That's the biggest economy east of the continent, keep making its own deals, as it were, having this cozy relationship with a number of countries around the world, in particular in Europe as well as the United Kingdom. Ethiopian Airlines says it's opening an e-commerce logistics facility in Addis Ababa. That's part of raising the level of business and ease of doing things as far as e-commerce is concerned in one of the most populous economies on the continent. Tanzania in East Africa is looking to start a geothermal drilling in April. Ethiopia's got a whole lot of that geothermal drilling relationship with Kenya, by the way, which Kenya Power, Kengen, is involved in. And Rwanda has seen its economy up 7.6% last month. Between January and September, the first 9 months of last year, that's according to the World Bank. Uganda's pension assets up about 10% to about 22 trillion shillings for the full year 2023, bringing those data up to where we are at the moment, bringing everyone up to speed. Okay, you've been briefed as far as the East Africa is concerned. Let's step into West Africa and grab a couple of headlines. Of course, you know, Nigeria is making the big splash with it today. We're seeing about 1.8 trillion naira be added to the market cap or market value of the Nigerian exchange group, because Transcorp Power will be listing today at 2:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Nigeria's iconic investor and businessman and banker, Tony Elumelu, will be leading the team of Transcorp Group to the exchange. It will be the second subsidiary within the Transcorp Group, which is listed on the exchange, that will be listed today. We have the Transcorp Hotel, and you're going to have Transcorp Power added with the Transcorp Group itself, the parent company, also listed on the exchange. Watch out for all of that. Now, Nigerian lawmakers are inviting Binance CEO for hearing because of issues around the fact that the platform is being used to short change in Nigeria as far as the exchange rate, Naira dollar, is concerned. And President Tinubu, Nigeria's president, was in Qatar over the weekend, and he has exchanged trade and investment agreements or deals with his Qatari partners. The Central Bank of Nigeria on Friday sold a record highest deal, or about 2 trillion worth of short-dated treasury bills to investors at a record yield, showing how desperate the financial regulator is to get foreign portfolio investors into the country. The question is whether they would bite the bullet, as it were. In the meantime, Ghana has announced the construction of a $450 million manganese refinery, trying to continue to step forward in beneficiation process, value addition, if you want to put it very simply, of its mineral resources to get more value for them as exports, instead of just exporting them out for cash as far as that is concerned. some good news there. Fitch, however, sees a decline in Ghana's treasury bills yields this year after the country is done with the domestic and foreign bond investors restructuring. And finally, Moody's is holding Cameroon's CAA rating despite the country's debt stability forecast. Those are your headlines here in West Africa. Let's walk you through the Southern African headlines today as we start the week. The central bank governor, the SARB governor to be more precise, Kganyago says there's no rate cut by the South Africa's Reserve Bank in the short run. So everyone keep your fingers off the button. In the meantime, President Ramaphosa suspended the country's deputy minister of small business development. And the World Bank says Zimbabwe needs currency and central bank reforms. How deep that should go is anyone's guess. But let's see if that will help warm Zimbabwe back to the embrace of multilateral institutions such as the World Bank. And the Kingdom of Eswatini is looking at about 10.2% growth by the year 2028. And that's the latest from the Southern African small economy there. Let's finish up, as always, in North Africa. And of course, we were looking at Egypt and a few others grabbing the headlines as we start the brand new business and market with Cairo looking at $5 billion initial installment of the first tranche of that $35 billion that UAE is providing for the Ras Al Ekma deal, which is a major project that President al-Sisi is pursuing, and the UAE is investing big into that. Libya has withdrawn 50 Dinars banknote from circulation. In Morocco, the country is planning to manufacture its own aircraft by the year 2030. Quite ambitious, but again, if you consider how much Morocco is doing right now, as far as aircraft repairs and all of that is concerned, then that would really be a tall ambition. Could just be within sight in a manner of speaking. And the French group EDF ENR says it's inaugurated renewable energy subsidiary, setting that up in Tunisia, while the Morocco's retail brand La Bevie says the profits for last year was down 31%. Due to pressure from consumers spending. And that's some of the headlines we're covering for you to start the brand new week. You can watch this show again on YouTube. Subscribe, it is free. Watch all our other shows as well as our social media. Follow us out there and send in your comments as well as your queries. We'll be glad to hear from you. Thank you very much. Have a great day and welcome formally to the month of March.